Next, we're in Vancouver, Washington, where 61-year-old Mark Leroy Denklau is being interrogated about the kidnapping and murder of a former associate. According to police reports, Denklau belonged to the Gypsy Joker Outlaw Motorcycle Club. The victim, 56-year-old Robert Lee Huggins, aka Bagger Bob, was a former member of the club, but was stripped of his membership, according to court documents, for allegedly stealing from the club and breaking into Denklau's residence, tying up his girlfriend, and stealing multiple firearms. Denklau is suspected by police, along with other members of the club, of later kidnapping and torturing Bob to death as an act of retaliation. A year after Bob's body was discovered, Detectives Scott Kurges and Kevin Harper have a new lead in the case involving Denklau's now ex-girlfriend, so they've brought him in for questioning.
Was at your house, and somebody busted in the house and roughed her up a little bit, tied her up. You remember that?
You know, I can't really answer to that. You're going to have to get that story from.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to answer to that but I can tell you again, once again, and you're going to find out that you are completely wrong.
Okay.
What's that? I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let
you're saying we're wrong.
You got the story all wrong.
Is Bagger Bob part of that?
Bagger Bob?
Yeah. That ring a bell?
Yeah, I know who that is. It's the guy that got killed about a year and a half ago.
What all took place?
Man, you know what? The story that you're talking about is somebody else's story.
Okay.
But you're going to have to talk to somebody else.
Who do you suggest we chat with?
I'm not throwing names. It's somebody else's story. You're the cop. Figure it out.
I think you know that we've got it pretty well figured out. The question is, you're in a bit of a hole. We're trying to offer you a ladder to get out of this hole.
Man.
Okay? So help us get this thing unconfused. Because you're saying, go talk to people, but...
I'm not willing to sit here and tell you stories like some piece of shit. Okay? You got your world, I got mine. Mm-hmm. In my world, rats are pieces of shit.
Denklau seems to be growing more frustrated and combative with detectives.
Man, dude, I didn't do anything. Ain't got nothing to do with Bobby Bagger's murder, if that's what you're talking about. You're barking up the wrong tree. You got your stories all confused and shit.
Okay. So... can you clarify anything for us about Bagger Bob?
You know, any stories that I tell at all about that guy, they dip into club business. They did club stuff. And I'm not going to go club stuff with you guys for nothing.
Okay.
You know,
even when he was out of the club?
I will say one thing. Once that dude came out of the club, when I was out of the club, I've never seen him or know anything about him since. Except that he went full junkie, but the truth is the junkie getting caught being a junkie is what got him kicked out of the club.
Detectives leave the room to discuss how to proceed.
So a few times you've, mentioned maybe a lawyer, maybe not. If you want a lawyer, that's fine. We'll stop communicating here. If you don't want a lawyer, we can keep talking. And obviously, as the right explains.
Then I must be going to get arrested, or you wouldn't have me call a lawyer in here. Then definitely I want a lawyer.
So I don't know what your charges are going to be. That's being determined.
Okay.
There's, in addition to, there's several people that are in front of the grand jury last week and today, this week.
Partner, just que sera, sera. I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not really too worried about anything that anybody could say in front of a grand jury.
That same day, prosecutors did charge Denklau with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree conspiracy to commit kidnapping based on the grand jury testimony of other club members who cited Denklau as giving orders for the murder. But those charges were later dropped after the case was moved to federal court, where years later, Denklau was convicted of murder, kidnapping, racketeering, and conspiracy charges. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.